Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. Welcome back, viewers. It's me, Blue Raspberry Gamer, with a deck profile redux, redo, update? Don't know what I'm gonna call this, but we did an adventure profile at the beginning of this format when it was my initial thoughts, just not much playing, just pure vibes. And here is my final thoughts before EX9 on adventure. I have become the adventure guy at locals, which I hate because I am such a like play a different deck every week, I love trying different shit, but I've become this guy. I've been able to win locals with this, do pretty like consistently well with this deck. And we do have like a decent sized local. We can get like 20 people, 20 plus, which is I feel like pretty crazy for a Digimon local. Comment down what your Digimon local's like, because we need more in person shit. It's all really fun to do. So here's my final thoughts on this deck it's sort of become like one of my favorite decks in the game, just ever maybe. There's a few decks that have cemented themselves to be like loved by me, and this has become one of them where I'm just gonna keep this built forever and see what else. I did get some EX9 cards revealed. They kind of suck, but neither here nor there. This is the last profile this deck will get. This is I think, my last profile before EX9, before I get new cards. So, the egg. Sunamon. Where's good Sunamon? Ooh, look at that. Digimon card game, Sunamon. Sunamon, the egg you play, don't play the other one. He sucks. Sunamon on deletion, grab a card back with adventure. It's all the cards. So, has to be a Digimon card. You can't grab back Tamers. Whatever. Who cares? The good egg. Don't play Koromon, please. Our rookies. I have landed on 4 Agumon. Is this just an excuse to show off super cool Agumon? Maybe, but he's still sick with it. Reboot is kind of the main reason we like him. Being able to do all your swings and then unsuspend is really nice. And then he has the super sexy your turn effect that he can warp up to Wargreymon if your opponent has a Digimon with 10k or more DP, or you have Tamers with 3 or more colors, which is just having 2 different Tamers in the deck out on the field. You'll meet that requirement. So it's super easy to warp up. He's a great like keeping back, and then you do all your shit on board. So if your board gets wiped out, you can bring up a Greymon, hopefully. Super good. And then the undisputed best rookie in the deck, Biomon, inheritable, give 2 KDP, but more importantly, reveal top 3. It's a searcher on play. Reveal top 3, add a Digimon card with adventure, and then 1 tamer or option card with adventure. So, just your best searcher. You will be getting them cards. Getting them fucking. You want it? Come on, give me the cards. You love it. Love this card. If you play any less than 4, you're not playing the deck right. And then the preference rookies, I feel like this slot can change up depending. So we have a lot of Hunters players and a lot of Galactimon players at my local. So Tentamon can be really good. If you get double Tentamon on field, your opponent can't reduce Digivolution cost. It stops them pretty hard in their tracks against those decks. So this is very like, what do you think you're gonna see in this slot? And then the other one is Palmon. So I have the super sick art of that. Art, like the stamped one, which is your on play tragic art with adventure, draw 2, and then plus 1 KDP. All turns, which is pretty alright. Uh, if you don't want to play the floodgates, you can play 4 Palmon. If you want to play the other floodgate, Gomon can go here. This is very preference heavy. This is geared towards my local. And that's your rookies, just 12 rookies. Into champions, we have 4 Kabuterimon. Piercing. And when Digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you may play a Tamer with Adventure. Great. We want to be doing that. His big drawback, he is not on play. He cannot do this by playing him, which is kind of rough. He's great early game, mid, late game. Piercing is really nice for this deck. I think this is the only way you can get Piercing. I might be super wrong on that, but it's the only way I get Piercing in my list. So that's what he's here for. Just to be able to swing Alliance and Pierce into big guys is really strong. I think it's great. And then just playing the Tamers is super good. And then we have 6 Togemon, pretty much. So Bergermon and Togemon do the exact same thing and just have different inheritables. On play when digivolving, if you have tamers with 3 or more colors and their adventure, because of course they're adventure, you may digivolve up to the next level for free. And then their difference is Togemon's is an all turn 1K, Bergermon is a your turn 2K, inheritable. So this is ooh, this card is the great card. This card is so good. This is what you're gonna be wanting to use a lot. I feel like it's like the good level 4. Once you have those 2 tamers with different colors, you'll just be just slamming this bad boy down or this one, warping up and then doing a bunch of shenanigans. I don't really play any of the security champions. They're all right. I don't really respect them. I feel like this deck wants to warp up. You want to be into your level 5s. That's your sweet spot is being into a level 5. So these enabling that for relatively cheap, like having 2 different tamers is not the hardest thing for this deck. So you want to like max it. I could see you running 8, right? Just totally maxing out on this, but I think this is a good sweet spot of that because you also do need Kabuterimon because you want to set up your tamers, right? You have to have a nice mix. Oh god, not the Terriermon. So into the divisive part of the deck. It's any adventure deck profile worth their salt. They will start you have to get salty over your level 5s and you have to be very adamant about I play these level 5s. So my deck is for the girls because we play 3 Angelmon, and Angelmon is goated. She is one of the best cards in the deck. So all of them have Alliance as the inheritable. I thought, this is a sequel to my first video, so I hope you saw the first one. If not, here you go. Alliance, and then they also all have the effect, except for one card. When one of your other Digimon are played or Digivolve, if they have Adventure, which they do, give them Alliance, or give one of your Digimon Alliance, and then one of your Digimon may attack. So this is the shared effect between like every level 5 in this deck. It's great for setting up and doing your big super sexy plays. And then they all have a different like first effect. Hers is on play when digivolving, one of your other Digimon may digivolve into a card with the adventure trait and without paying the cost. I will say I've been able to do some like just unbelievably sick plays with just this card. Just like having if you have 2 of this card in your hand, and then there's another. I'll show this like after the fact. Like what it's crazy. And if you have the option, which we'll see later, it's you just crazy. So the other girl, we play Lilymon. I think one of the best forms of removal in this deck. Lilymon shares the same other effects that we talked about. And then for her top effect, suspend all of your opponent's Digimon with 5k or less DP. So that's just suspend all. It doesn't need a cost for that. And then for every 2 colors of your tamers, so 2 different colors, return one of their suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. It does not need to be a 5k. It can be any suspended thing. A great comeback mechanic, a great card to drop off the option, great removal. Lilymon is just, I feel like, so good. She's like not, it's like the other level 5s I feel like are very situational. I feel like these 2 are not. Like these 2, you want to see these are strong. They do things. It's like they bottom deck instead of delete, which is great. Like that's like the strong form of removal. So love that. And then we start getting into our weird guys. We'll go Garudamon and Metal Greymon. So they share the all turns. Garudamons, I think these are both like very very situational. Garudamon is great when you want to like blow through your opponent's whole security. You for the turn, one of your Digimon gains Sec +1. Then for every 2 colors of your tamer have, it gets 2 KDP. So you're gaining Sec +1 and then a bunch of DP for your tamers. And then Greymon is D-Digivolve for every 2 color tamers, which can be important. Right, D-Digivolve is a great keyword. So having the option is really very helpful. And then our final level 5, the menacing Skull Greymon. He can, don't worry about that. He doesn't Digivolve for 4. He Digivolves for 3 over all your adventure guys. And then on play when Digivolving, one of your guys gains Raid Retail. And then on deletion, which see he doesn't have the other effect, so he has the inheritable on deletion and main on deletion. You may play an adventure trait card with a play cost of 4 or less from your trash without paying the cost. So that's your tamers or your guys. So that's pretty strong. He's like your only way to get tamers out of the trash, but he's very, very situational. I think it's like you don't always need to see him, so that's why I only play one. Now, I'm saying he's very situational. I don't know. Greymon, I think Greymon could be either of these guys. I could definitely switch him to Garudamon. I think Garudamon might be better, but Skull Greymon does when he comes up, he's like good. Sometimes you have a way to give everything blocker in this deck. Sometimes having a retaliation blocker that on deletion does shit is quite strong because you're playing a 4 cost. Guess what costs 4? Birdramon. Birdramon go back up into Lilymon, right? On deletion, and you're back into a level 5. You're always having these level 5s out. So, I don't know. This is what I prefer. I think these are all the cards that it depends if I want to see them, but these level 5s up here, I always want to see them. I want them in my hand. On to our all-important level 6s. So if you've noticed a trend here, we're not playing Metal Garurumon. I feel like that's a different version of the deck. We are playing War Greymon Ace. At 4, he's sick with it. So on play when digivolving, until your opponent's turn ends, for every 2 color of your tamers, you can pick Digimon, and they are unaffected by Digimon effects. So if you have 4 different colors of tamers, 2 of your Digimon get unaffected, so you're usually going to give it to him, and then another level 5 or lower. But he's great. And then also, when digivolving, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's lowest DP Digimon. Don't make the mistake of trying to hard play this guy for like a reduced cost and be like, oh, delete something, because he doesn't. that's his on. That is his when digivolving when attacking, not his on play. His on play is giving him protection, but as long as he has that protection, and then he also when digivolving and attacking not once per turn. So if you digivolve and keep turn and then swing, you delete 2 Digimon, which is pretty strong. And then our other guy, Promo War Greymon, the adventure one, just natural sec +1 and blocker, crazy. He gets all turns DP for each color Digimon and Tamer. Not your Digimon Tamer, every Digimon Tamer. So with this deck already like playing a bunch of colors, you're naturally usually giving him so he always gets +1k because he's red, right? So your 12k is a misnomer. You're always going to be 13k. And then you usually have like 3 colors of Tamers, so plus 3 more k. So usually 16k, and that's like a low War Greymon, right? That your opponent has nothing on the field that's different than you. If they don't, you're at 17k, right? You can see how this effect becomes crazy. And then when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this. So he is very strong. His natural sec +1 really helps finish out games. But I feel like having the ace to go off of your level 5s is more important in this deck. So I could see an argument for 3 and 3. I could see an argument for 4 and 2. But I still feel like you always end with level 5s in this deck. So having the option to ace on top of them is more valuable than having this War Greymon, because you usually can see him. You have quite a bit of ways to get through your deck, and you're digivolving a lot, so you're drawing a lot of cards. But I don't know. He's nice. The natural blocker is very nice as well. So I don't know. Leave your comments on what you think the top end should be. I think this has been a pretty solid top end for me so far. It's like been working very well, but I can definitely see the cases for different shit. Next, we have our tamers in order of importance. 2 Mat and TKs. So almost all your tamers, besides this next one, they have the ability when you play a Digimon card with adventure, tap to reduce the play cost by 1. So all of them have that, besides the next one I'm going to show you. And then they each have a different effect. So this one's your turn effect is all of your level 5 or higher Digimon gain rush. This is the best card. The best tamer. You want that rush. That is how you'll be able to finish off games. That's how you'll be able to like play through a bunch of shit. You need that card. Your second most important tamer, which since the last video, we've pulled an alt art. Actually, the locals we won out of our winners pack, we got the alt art, which is pretty goated. This is Tai, the secret rare. So he's a memory setter. He's completely different from every other tamer in this deck. When one of your Digimon attacks, suspend, draw 1. Great. His main effect. You may play an adventure or hero. We're not playing heroes in this deck. You may play an adventure with a play cost of 2 or less from your hand without paying the cost. For each of your tamer's colors, add 1. Then bottom deck this card is the cost. So again, it starts at 2, but it's always going to be 3, right? So you can always tap him to play a rookie, which is actually that's like a great play, I think. Like playing the rookie, then digivolving, like playing the rookie to keep turn, digivolving into like a Togemon or Bergermon, pretty great. But if say you have this 3, 4, 5, right? You can play anything that costs 5. And if you have one more tamer, which we'll get to more tamers, you can play 7. So 7 is like everything. That's the ace and all your level 5s, which is crazy. He is very strong. I feel like his memory setting and drawing is like the stronger part. I'm just kidding. It's the playing. Of course it's the playing. He plays shit. He's like playing it too. He's not reducing the cost. He's playing it. So that's like a fun distinction. Our next, this I feel like is controversial. I see some people play none of this tamer. I think you're stupid. This is Ty and Izzy. Ty and Izzy, the cost reduction. Opponent's turn. All of your Digimon with the adventure trait gain blocker. You want, right? You want to be able to swing big swings, but thanks to shit like the Agumon with Reboot and just playing out a bunch of bodies that this deck likes to do, you'll have a bunch of blockers and your opponent will have to deal with that. Right? Unless they can get rid of the tamer, which some decks can get rid of the tamer, like Galactimon can pop this, but most other decks don't. Most other decks aren't doing that. So just giving everything with adventure gets blocker. Just every card in the deck can be very, very helpful. I think this card is great. I think just being able to have that defensive wall of guys is great. Especially this pairs really well with the option, which you'll see. Our other tamer, we have Sora and Kari. So Sora and Kari, I guess we'll just pull this out as well. Sora, Kari, and Joe and Mimi. They have the tap to reduce cost, and then start your turn. If you have a Digimon with adventure, gain 1 memory. So the gaining a memory is great. It's like the only right. Sometimes you'll have turns at 1 memory with this deck where you have like these tamers up and nothing else, and that's fine. Like the deck can run with that, but having the extra memory can be really nice. I feel like you can cut one of those, which is why I've done it to make space for other shit. I feel like they're not the most important thing, but poor Joe, he's the one I chose. I don't know, right? There's no reasoning for it because we share colors, but whatever. One of these two, it's very preference based, can get cut, and that is our tamers. 2 of every adventure besides one of the memory gain ones, because that's a lot of tamers. And then our final card before we show off sick things the deck does is one of the most important cards in the deck. The only option you run, our Courage United, a delay option. You can use it when you have adventure traits on the field without ignoring color requirement. Main, draw 2. Whoa, Pot of Greed. And then its delay effects when any of your level 5 or higher would leave the battle area. Not delete, leave. So anything. You may play a level 5 or lower with adventure from your hand. This effect is interruptive. So let us talk about this card. I think this is one of the linchpins of the deck. Let us talk about this. Let us say you have a Lilymon, or yeah, who cares? You have a level 5. And I'm just making the stack, Get a nice green stack here. You have a level 5. Let's get your tamers that you like to have on field. And you got a couple of these options. Because I feel like I'm always seeing these options. But that's neither here nor there. Lilymon can then... This is something I've done multiple times, so I know it can work. I know it's this is very high roll, but I digress. Lilymon blocks because you have the blocker tamer. Now, this is important. So on deletion, you can grab an egg back. Not with this. You can grab anything back. Not with this. Because this, what you'll do is you'll pop both our Courage United. You pop one and then the other to play 2 Digimon. And like you just play one, you know what I mean? Like whatever, it doesn't matter. But play like Birdramon and Birdramon. Birdramon. I guess you could play. You'd want to play level 5. Play like Birdramon and Angelmon. Birdramon Digivolve into Angelmon. Angelmon Digivolve this Angelmon into. Well, yeah, whatever. Right. I'm very miffing the play, but you get the idea. Because if you can play 2 Angelmons, or just Angelmon and any other level 5, doesn't matter. That other level 5 can Digivolve into like Wargreymon. And that's the beauty. Sometimes I like going the level 4s that can warp up because you're just getting that extra, like, you get to draw another card and you're just building a stack, which is nice. But Angel 1 is so good to like make something else to evolve into Wargreymon. Then you have 2 blockers. Or just like I've had turns where I have like 2 or 3 of these. It's like 3 of these, and then you just play 3 guys. Like you can play any of your level 5s, which all have on play effects. Right? Like you just play 3 of them, and then what one body turns into 3, and they all have effects on play. That's pretty strong. You know, that's just super crazy. Then you order the effects however you want. You'll have 3 blockers. One of them can digivolve. You'll de-digivolve, which could then help her. Right? Just having this option to be able to replace your guys that die is so important. Because you constantly want level 5s on the field with this deck. That's like the most important thing, is having your level 5s, right? I think it's so sick. It's so sad that EX9, the cards that at least they've shown, are kind of PP bad for adventure. Like, you won't play those. I don't know why they even have the adventure trait. You know, neither here nor there. But this deck is so fun. This is my updated deck profile of this. Or just my deck profile of this for the end of this format. This has gotten me pretty good results, you know, at the local level. Haven't taken us to any big tournaments. Because Digimon, hear me out. Make more in-person tournaments, please, of decent size. I feel like they're so limited. That's my one major complaint about this card game, is the lack of big in-person tournaments where I could bring shit like this. But please do that. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Tell me why. I know why. Because we need more One Piece money. But I digress. I've been the Blue Raspberry Gamer. This has been Digimon Adventure. Digimon are the champions. They change into digital champions. You know, all that shit. It's like, comment, subscribe. Keep your eye out for EX9 shit coming. Keep your eye out for video game shit if you're into that. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.